Well, high school has been a roller coaster of emotions for me. Freshman year, I came from St. Gabe's, and it was a small school, and we were all very close and like very bad. We would do some interesting pranks, like putting a dead fish in front of a teacher's room. That was one of the eighth grade pranks. And coming to the high school, obviously, like everyone else, I was very nervous, and the people were intimidating, being that small and looking up to the seniors. I remember being like, whoa, like I'm little. And I didn't know who I would be friends with because not a lot of people from St. Gabe's came here. And the very first day, I remember in homeroom, I sat down, and Belmo Nurkic sat in front of me, and he turned around and he said, "Hi, my name's Belmo." And then that was my first friend, so that was a relief. And then in French, I became really good friends with Ashley Rebel and Hannah because we both hated French, so we kind of shared our hatred for French. And I was also close with Nicole Nemec and Julia Caratea just because we all came from St. Gabe's, so we all stayed close with each other. And mainly freshman year, looking back, it was very easy for the most part. It was full of fun memories, and that's what I took from freshman year mainly. Sophomore year, it was a big change for me. I got into a group of friends that wasn't the best for me. Not that they were bad people, it just wasn't the best group of friends for me. And I started making some pretty stupid choices, but Alyssa Blair was my best friend at the time, and we were like partners in crime. And that year I started learning a lot of life lessons. Some of the people I would hang out with showed me exactly who I didn't want to be. And they weren't really any regrets, just a bunch of lessons learned. And one thing I learned was that life will go on no matter what, no matter if you get in a fight with your boyfriend or you fight with your best friend, life goes on. And a lot of ended friendships happened that year. Overall, sophomore year was just a bunch of lessons learned. Junior year was definitely the hardest for me, school-wise and emotionally, because for school you have the SATs, the honor classes, National Honor Society, the Keystones, and at home I was having a rough time. A bunch of fights always went on, and I lost a lot of friends that year, and some completely betrayed me. And one of the hardest things that year was dance ended. The owner of the studio retired, so we were all like heartbroken over it. And after dancing for 15 years, and they were all like basically family, we all like took it very hard. So that was definitely rough my junior year. But I also got a job that year at Eaton Park, and we became very close. Like a bunch of people that graduated last year worked there, like Emily Paiso, Katie Latchett, the Johnson twins, and we all became close, so I made a lot of friends as well as lost a lot that year. Going through all of that my junior year helped me to find myself and who I wanted to be for the rest of my life. It also taught me that at the end of the day, the only person I ever had to make happy was myself. My senior year, I would say, was the best year by far. I approached it with a different attitude. I tried to stay positive, which sometimes happens, sometimes didn't. I tried to be more friendly towards everyone. And I became close with a lot of old friends that I was in St. Gabe's who go to different schools, or even like freshman year. I joined a lot of new clubs and tried a lot of new things. Belmo got me to join track. He's been trying to get me to join since like sophomore year, and I always laughed in his face and said I would never join. And I finally did this year, and I ended up loving it. And I became friends with a lot of my teammates, which was pretty awesome because they're all weirdos like me, so that's fun. And I was thankful I joined because it pushed me a lot harder than I ever thought it would. And it's nice to be pushed out of your comfort zone sometimes. Another part of senior year I loved was preschool. It was definitely an awesome experience. They were pretty much the reason I came to school every day, to be honest. They're so full of happiness and innocence, and just makes you miss being a child. There's nothing better than walking into the room every day and a bunch of little preschoolers coming up, hugging you, "Miss Darcy, hi Miss Darcy." It's awesome. And Honestly, I could not be more happy about how my senior year is ending. Not only have I met some awesome friends the past 4 years, but I also will be taking some great life lessons with me along the way. One of the greatest ones I will be taking with me throughout life is to get involved, try something new, and get to know as many people as you can. This year, I became friends with a variety of people, like people that would be labeled like goth to people that would be labeled like preppy. And it's good to get to know everyone because everyone has an awesome story to tell if you would take the time to get to know them. Thank you to everyone who has ever been there for me, even at my worst. I wouldn't change one thing about my high school experience. Although we may all be going our separate ways in a few months, we still have our very last prom together and all summer, so let's make it our best before we turn the page and start the new chapter of our lives. And one of my favorite quotes is, "Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience." Thank you.